Okay, today we're going to talk about creating a Kajabi website. Now, Kajabi can do a lot of different things. Create funnels, create landing pages, create an entire website. So you can use the Kajabi platform as an all-in-one, really. So I hear people say that all the time, but they really can. And I'm a designer, so when I shut down everything else and I'm using now Kajabi for my website, for my funnels, for my landing pages, for my CRM, for my assessments, for my analytics, for my blog, my podcast, everything. So I'm just, if you haven't caught on, I'm passionate about Kajabi. I think it is the one tool. If anybody's going to have just one tool, Kajabi is the one to have. And what it does is just simply phenomenal. So, and if you are looking to get a free trial, if you go to Kajabi.com, you can get a free trial for 14 days. If you use my link, I will give you a free trial for 30 days. Now, it is an affiliate link, and I do get paid a little bit off of if you decide to upgrade and so forth, but it's at no cost to you, and it would help me keep this channel going and to cover some of the costs that I have. But that's only if you think there's value and if you think Kajabi is the system and the platform that you want to use. With that said, let's talk about building a website. Now, I'm not going to go into an incredible amount of depth in this, but I want to show you exactly what's possible here. So I'm in my back office, and this is my partner back office. So it's a place where I can put up demos and train and so forth on, but not my live active site. So when we go to website, you'll see that you have your website here. And if you haven't selected a template, then this would just be blank and it would say get started, right? But I've selected a template, but I want to show you how to do that. So you can go down here to browse templates, and you can see that we're here at the template store, and there are a lot of different templates that you can choose from. Once you choose the one, and if you want to see what it looks like, you can click on it and then scroll through it, and you can kind of get an idea of what's in it. Now, this one doesn't have scrolling because there's not much there, but let's say this one here, I can scroll through and see what this page, and this is basically the home page, right? Checking out anyone, Serenity. Again, scroll through it, you can see kind of how it's designed, and you want to try to get one that's close to what you're going to put up there anyway. So I've chosen, the one that you saw there was Prosper, but I've installed Taylor. So let's just go through the install of another one. Let's try Carl. Okay. So add to save templates. This is maybe the one I like, I'm going to modify to use. I'm going to click on add to save templates. Now, once it's installed in your save templates, which are down here, and you can see there are two of them here. So if I wanted to use Carl, I would click the three dots, and I would say set to live. Okay. Now, once I do that, it's going to come up and again ask me, are you sure you want to do this? Yes, I do. And now this becomes my live template. Now, Prosper ends up down here, so I can choose back and forth if I want, and Taylor is here. I can customize these by clicking on a little painter's palette, if you will, to customize these and check them out and do all the customization before I make it live. And then once I get the customization done and looking the way I want, then I can come over here and hit the three dots and set it to live. But we're going to work on this one right here. And before we go any further, I want you to notice all these dots down here and the arrows on the left and the right. These arrows are going to take you to the different pages, okay? So this is my store page, okay? And this is actually library. If I click the next one, this is the member directory. If I click the next one, this is what announcement is going to look like, the announcement page with this template. Okay, what my blog page is going to look like. Okay, and it hasn't been customized, so there's nothing there, blog post, and so forth, okay? So if I want to go back to the beginning, I can go back here to the home page and see it. But I can at any time look at all these pages. I also can go over here to the left and click on pages, and I can see all of the pages that it created, okay? Now, understand that you can go out and purchase templates that are more detailed to give you more maybe functionality and more versatility on things that you can change in there. Especially there are some out there, robust theme is one of the ones that comes to mind that I love. But it allows me to kind of get into the code and the CSS and so forth. If you're not at that stage, these templates are perfect, right? So if I go to pages, you'll notice up at the top here, I see landing pages and funnels, and here's where I can create landing pages. And if I've got a funnel, okay, then my funnel pages would be here, and I can customize those. But we're just going to talk about your website today. And again, here's all the pages that you can go in and customize. Now, we're only going to look at the home page because if you know how to customize that and how to go through the editor with that, all the rest of them are the same, okay? The other options under here are your blog. So if you click on blog, here's where you can start creating your blog, right? Writing blog posts and so forth. Navigation, this is where you can create your navigation bars, and you can create as many as you want. You can create custom menus. It comes with these pre-populated one, if you will, and you can see here's your about, your blog, your store, contact, and so forth. And you can drag these around whichever way you want. Okay. But let's go back to page. Let's go back actually to design, and let's click on customize page and get into the editor. Now here in the editor, you're going to see in the center is your preview of what's going on. So it's what we call a WYSIWYG editor. What you see is what you get. So I can change things. I can click in here. Over on the left are the properties. It takes me to the text, and this is where I would edit the text. I can click on this button, and it gives me this button and what I can do with this button and how I can change it. You'll notice it says 8 columns. I can make this, if I want to make it wider, I can make it 12 columns. Okay, you notice it doesn't really change anything because the button is set. If I set this to full width on the button, if I go back up here and say 12 columns, you notice how it changed, right? But I want this to be auto so that it just is as big as it needs to be, okay? And I can change if it's solid, or if it's outlined. Sometimes maybe you want to outline one. That was outlined, so I'm going to keep it that way. Small, medium, or large. Okay. Small is good for what we want here. Border radius, I can choose backgrounds of this particular section. All kinds of options, right? Same thing with here. If I click on this image, I can change the image. I can actually have the image become a link. I can change the width of that, the border radius. Right now, the border radius is set to 4, but we just don't, have a border color. Or, let's say I want to set that to 10. Okay. And again, I can go into background and change things. I can go into the desktop and change how it's aligned, the padding, all of that stuff. Okay. Every one of these have very, very similar things that you can change. And again, if I look here, I see that the columns is 5. Let's say if I change it to 8, look what happens. You can't, if this one's 8 and this one is anything over 4, you've only got 12 columns, okay? So if I put this back to 5, boom, it works fine. If I go back to the second image here, you'll notice it's 5. So I could, if I wanted these closer, 5 and 7, I could make this 7, right? Now there's no gap. If I bump it down to 6, hey, now there's a little gap. If I go back to where it was at 5, I get what I want, right? So you're looking for them to add up to 12 and no more, otherwise it's going to wrap, right? Again, I can keep going back here. I can go down to any one of these go to the text, go to this section here. You'll notice this section is full width and it's got a background picture. Well, if I go in here to background, you notice here it says media type. We've got none, image, and video. It says image, and here's that media, right? And again, I can tell it, you'll notice that it's got that parallax effect. That's because it says fixed background image. It's also got a background color, okay? So if I make this background color darker, see how it darkens up? If I make the opacity down to 0, it shows me the whole image without any overlay on it. If I make it, if I scroll it to back where it was, I've got that overlay, which is nice because it makes that text pop a little bit better, right? So, and if I choose the location of this, top, center, or bottom, it's going to move it around. And again, it's fixed background, so that gives it that kind of parallax effect, okay? If I scroll down to these are cards. So if I go back over here, these are different cards that you can choose the picture, the headline, the text. You can add let's say on this card here, I want a call to action. I can go down here to the bottom and say show call to action, and now I've got a button on it if I don't want to. Okay, so you've got a lot of options and things that you can do, and then you can save it and preview it, and now you can look and see how it looks, anything you want to change, what people are going to see when they go to it, and so forth. Now there you can see there's animations when things come into the scroll into view, things change here, and you have a footer and you have a header. Well, if I go back here to the first page, I've got down here, I can access the footer. So the footer's down here. I can click on this, and I can change, let's say I want this footer background color to be black. Okay, boom, or black. Okay, so now it's black, right? And this is going to change the footer on all of my pages, not just this one here, right? And if I go to header, right now it's got this particular menu bar, plus you'll notice it's got another menu bar here too, right? This is your main menu, and then this menu bar is the about and contact menu, okay? If I don't want one of these to show, I can hit the 3 dots and I can say hide, and you'll see that those will go away, right? Or I can go back and show them. I can also go down here to go back here. Go to my heading, and I can go to the desktop layout, and I can tell it the horizontal alignment I want is center. Okay, because I want that to be in the center. Okay, now when I save this, it should move to the center. And I'm not sure why it didn't. Okay. Oh, so here it's in the menu itself. Okay. So if I go back here to menu and I center this, save it. Not sure why it's not moving over. Horizontal alignment center. Well, not sure why that's not centered. It should. And then the user menu here is this icon or avatar up here, right? So I can either, again, I can hide this. I can delete it. You certainly wouldn't want to hide it if you've got people that have membership and so forth. You can make this sticky. So if I enable the sticky header, now when I scroll down, what will happen is, let's preview this. Okay, you're going to see how that stays right at the top. Okay, that's what a sticky header is. So there are all kinds of things you can do, and again, this affects everything. This header is on every page, right? Unless you can go to a page and say don't show it on this one. Settings, this is where I can go into, I can put my favicon in here, which is the little icon that shows up in the tab bar. I can change my style guide, which is, all kinds of different things, the page background. Maybe my primary colors, I want them to be more of this orange, okay? And I can save that. And we'll see what that looks like. It may not change a whole lot of things if someone's not using that. The button background color, maybe again, I want this to be that orange color. I can save that. And a lot of these global things don't take effect until you save them. Okay, so if I go back and preview this, you see how this turned into that orange color for all of those. For some of them. And if they're not using those global colors, then that's okay. So I can go into like this text. Okay, I can go into this text, highlight this text, and say I want it to be my global color, and boom, there it changes into that. Same thing with this button. If I want to change this background color to the global color and so forth, I can. Okay, but I can also go back into my settings, and in the style guide, I can look at what all of these colors for the fonts, what the font colors are, what the font sizes are, all kinds of different things. Okay, so that's it. And when you're done, you want to grab out of here. We're going to leave this. We don't care if it's saved or not in this case, but when you're done, it's now up and live. Okay, in this case, or if you're working on the templates, they're there, and if you've got it, everything is there the way you want it, you can then go in and make it live. Okay, so now it's live. We've been working on this one. It's live. It's ready to go, and that's all there is to creating your own website, right? Starting with a template, putting what you need in there to get the right text, the right images, the right layout design, maybe tweak it a little bit here and there. But you can put a homepage together very, very quickly using these templates in Kajabi, and then you can start tying everything together. So remember, if you're interested in getting a trial, 30-day trial, you can go look at the information below. You can go to rondeering.com/Kajabi. Two things we're going to do. I'm going to throw in, if you take the 30-day trial, I'm going to throw in my Kajabi mini course and a one-on-one coaching to help you get started, get you up and running, and so forth, along with your 30-day trial. So God bless you. I hope this helps you out. Kajabi is amazing. Please take a look and see for yourself.